welcome. We'll see how this kind of goes, man. I don't know where the show is going. Hope everybody's had a good day, man. We're back live in Living Color, talk about I guess nerd news, man. I don't know how long uh the show gonna be, but it is what it is. Um, like I said, I hope you all having a good day. I see the MO as usual. Early, soon as it drops, she drops there. Um, See if she swings back through here or whatever. But anyway, we're gonna do a little One Piece talk. Latest chapter came out this past officially. We had the spoilers, but the official chapter came out this past weekend. We're gonna kind of talk about some of the key points of that. I'm also going to get into the Jim Jones nine situation for those who are not abreast. Play a clip of that. Give some commentary on that. Also, going to get into the clips. So be it. So be it. Listen. I'll wait for my commentary on the album because another snippet. Um, a key snippet, the Kendrick verse, dropped yesterday. So we're gonna kind of talk about that, and then we'll see where the rest of the show kind of goes. We'll see where the show kind of goes. Listen, I don't have no script. I don't have a formulated game plan. I'm just gonna kind of wing it tonight, and that's it fair, man. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this channel. At the end of the day, but I just wanted to get up here and talk. But anyway, like I said, One Piece, new chapter count dropped 11:52, dropped this past weekend. If you haven't read it, it's up on Viz, the official website, but you can also find it in places like where I read my manga at, where I can get it a little bit earlier. Over at Manga Buddy. .com. You can go check it out over there. I will say this overall, this chapter, considering how Elbath has been kind of going, the storyline with Elbath has been kind of going. I actually kind of I got mixed feelings about this last chapter. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got mixed feelings. I like the pace of it. I like when you kind of get. I like when Oda, does flashbacks from time to time. You kind of get a little information. Now, I hope with this flashback, he doesn't rush through it like he did with God Valley, because when you break down the flashback and the key stuff in the flashback that was kind of put out there, and if you read it, excuse me, if you read the chapter, you can notice certain things on certain panels. But I overall like the pace of it. I'm just kind of like holding my breath into the next chapter because you never know what Oda starts you on a flashback, kind of jumps around, and you don't really know where it's gone. Like they take this chapter for instance. We have a flashback to 14 years ago in the story to where we find out what happened to King Harold. How he really died. Loki ends up telling the story of how he really died, and if you read the that particular part of the chapter, it kind of hints, and I'm just maybe this is me just reading a little bit too much into it. It kind of hints that Emu has had some kind of involvement on the physical "I'm trying to possess you" type level. When we talking about the actual scene where Harold is stabbed by other giants, and he has like a demonic kind of look. I don't know where Oda is really gone with that. He didn't really kind of dive more into it, but it kind of looked like King Harold was maybe possessed, or was it the giants um that killed him? Were they possessed? It just kind of hints at it. Oda kind of tap dances around it that Emu has been there to Elbath before, had some kind of involvement with Elbath before. We also find out more detail in this chapter, the kind of conversation that goes on with Scopper and Shanks. And here's a key thing. I don't know how many people caught this. If you read it, pay attention to the panel where they're having a conversation in the spa or hot tub. That scene. Pay attention to the left arm of Shanks. Shanks has one of the Holy Knights tattoos on his left arm. Now, if you're a long-time reader of One Piece, a long time ago, Shanks lost his left arm saving Luffy long time ago. But for those who are new to One Piece, that's what happened. He lost his left arm saving Luffy. And I just find it very peculiar. This is Oda hinting at Shanks being a Holy Knight. It would fit with the storyline, knowing that his father was head of the Holy Knights. His brother is now head of the Holy Knights since his father got promoted. So it would make sense. It really explain in more detail why Shanks has such access around Marriage the times he has come there. It kind of cleans that up for you. But I wish Oda would have went a little bit deeper into it. But like I said, this is Oda. This is One Piece, and this is part of the problem with One Piece. I have is, I mean, we're talking about two different things going on. Like we got two sets of flashbacks in this chapter, and Oda teases something, and he moves to another one. And I guess it's going to set up, a continuation of that flashback in the next chapter. I don't know. You never know where Oda is going with this. We also got confirmation that it, like we discussed last week, it will be a power up, kind of training. Some, I guess I wouldn't call it arc, but it will be a kind of a power up, kind of training session, whatever issue coming up involving the Straw Hats. Scott Command, really clarified it. We talked about it last week with the spoilers. It is advanced Conqueror's Hockey. I guess it's a more fine tuned. I guess for you people who, if I'm gonna do power scaling comparisons, it's like Dragon Ball Z. It's like you have Super Saiyan, then you have like the next level, which was Super Saiyan 2, which was a more refined, a more powerful refinement of the Super Saiyan form. So that's what we're going to probably be getting sometime in the near future. But like I said, overall, I like the pace of the chapter. But once again, I get you want to leave off with cliffhangers. But Oda, I mean, this is. I mean, we're 20 years into the story. If you start down a path with flashback, listen, it doesn't necessarily change the current course of where the story is going to eventually, if he ever decides to wrap up One Piece, it's going to eventually end with the Straw Hats on top. Now, you could throw a curveball and it doesn't end like that, which will be probably the most severe curveball I've ever seen in manga history. I've never read a manga to where, good doesn't overcome evil. That's just kind of how the stories are written. It doesn't matter if you're talking about Bleach, doesn't matter if you're talking about Dragon Ball, Jujutsu Kaisen, Solo Leveling. It's all whatever manga anime that you are into. Yes, there may be some tragedy at the end where another main character dies, or the main character dies to save everyone, but it always ends with the good people on top. Oda, with this chapter, I'm like I said, the flashback to King Harold, King Harold getting killed, and it kind of alludes to, when you look at the imagery, it kind of looks like, what's up, Slander? It kind of looks like, you know, the Emu may have had some involvement in King Harold actually being killed. Like I said, Oda doesn't really kind of dive into it a lot more. You hear Scopper talk about earlier in the chapter. It was a weird kind of a hockey that he felt on the day the King Harold died. So it kind of alludes to that. But Oda being Oda doesn't clear it up and just kind of leaves it, up for whatever, up for interpretation. Like I said, I wish I could have got a little bit more. I like that particular flashback. Listen, I don't really give a damn about the other flashback, which closed out the chapter, which is King Harold from like 100 years. What's going on, Divine? From like 100 years ago, I wasn't feeling. Although before Divine, well, you're late, Divine. If you haven't read it already, I'm doing the actual chapter review. I didn't too much care for the last flashback of the chapter to close out, where we're talking about King Harold from 100+ years ago, where he was like, rambunctious. That's the way Oda's going to be taking the next couple of chapters, diving into that, unless it has something to do with the Void Century. I'll be honest with you, I really don't care. I really, I don't want to sit through chapters and chapters of King Harold, maturing. Listen, I'm not there. You going to short? I mean, I could. I mean, hell. Let me see. All right. Yeah, I mean, I could short. Give me a second. That's why I hate having. I should have put my damn VPN on this shit. That's sure. Well, I just go to Viz. Hell, if they strike it, they strike it. You know, it's not like it's not up anyway. Give me a sec. All right. Okay. Put this here. Give me a sec, y'all. All right. Let's see how it looks first before I pull it up. Yeah, I had to. Well, I could zoom in. Yeah. All right. So, thanks for Divine for the Viz website. Is okay. Okay. Yeah. Pull it up. Okay. Present. Here. Here. Okay. Let's see how it kind of looks. Okay. Let me take me off the screen, and let's see how it kind of rock like this. All right. I've never pulled it up a Viz on the laptop, so yeah. Do I need to zoom in more? Okay, now can I? Okay, so I have to move it like that. Okay, cool. Let me go to that panel in particular that I was talking about in regards to Shank. I don't know if people caught it. Which page was it? It's not that one. All right. I should have thought of this before this started. Okay. Yeah, so here is the actual panel I was discussing. Now it kind of, if you look at it, it kind of looks like either Harold is the one possessed or the giants that are killing him are possessed. Like I said, Oda doesn't really get into it. It's no real words being said by either of the parties. It's kind of like left up to your interpretation. But I'm getting the impression that Oda is saying that Imu, your page 12, thanks, Divine. I'm getting the impression that Oda is saying that Imu has some involvement in Harold's death in one fashion or another. Like I said, it's up to your interpretation. You don't really kind of get any further information on, like no dying words, nothing. Or we had to kill him because he was rampaging. That was his final order to us because before he lost control. I don't know. Leave it up to Oda to kind of. Yeah, that's what I think. Let's go chat the review. I mean, Slab, that might be an idea. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this right here. I thought that was a very key panel. Oda kind of gives you a whole lot of talking, man, but some of that stuff is just like filler talk. But here's the particular panel that I'm talking about. If you look closely here, with Scopper and Shanks are talking. If you look here on the let me see if maybe I can zoom in a little bit more. If you look here on the left arm of Shanks, I don't know how many readers caught this. I mean, if you're a diehard One Piece fan, I'm pretty sure you picked up that visual. But if in case you didn't, it kept, like I said, that's the Holy Knights inscription, and as we've seen throughout the Elbeth arc, especially of late with Imu taking control of Gunko. Listen, we kind of already kind of knew. It hasn't really been confirmed by Oda, but we already kind of had a feeling that Shanks at one point was a Holy Knight. Like I said, it can explain a lot of things. Father being head of the Holy Knights, find out his brother is now head of the Holy Knights. So like I said, it kind of Oda kind of slips that in there. It may explain why Imu, for future reference, I think Oda's kind of setting this up for where Imu tries to take over Shanks, and he's not able to because that tattoo is no longer on his body. Because of course, you One Piece fans know he's lost that arm. Considering that, yeah, I consider that Emu's way of tapping into, um, tapping into the body and taking over, and but even with that being said, leave it up to Oda. Like, if you're paying attention, you're like, oh, yes, it's cool. But then when you go back, and I mean, take the previous panel. As we've seen on Elbeth, Emu has had to show up, and for lack of a better term, show up in person to do the devil contract, whatever that is. He's had to kind of show up, and you would think that would cause a bigger scene on the island, him showing up, his presence, and you would think that would be a much bigger thing, considering him taking over Gunko and how that is kind of played out with giants running rampant. You would think that that would be something that would have been picked up by other characters that was on the island at the time, especially when we're talking about Scopper and Shanks, who were present on the island when he died. So I'm kind of was Harold, did he make a contract with Emu and kind of like backed out, and Emu I've never thought of, I'm just saying, because we've seen when he took over Gunko, of course he has access to the Holy Knights due to the tattoo, much like with the Gorosei. He has access to them. How he killed old boy Saturn, rest in peace. But you would think if he pulled this off, and see, like I said, this is the problem with Oda when he does flashbacks. It's like you're reading it, and then like you have more questions. Like, okay, are you going to flesh this out? Are you going to give us some clarity on what really happened? I mean, because like nobody else on the island, took notice of this, and the only person that we know may have had knowledge of Emu presence being on the island with Scopper. Are we saying that is Oda alluding to that Scopper has with the advanced Kakura Haki, is that still above what Shanks has? I would assume with the displays of power that Shanks has as far as using his Kakura Haki, you would think he would have advanced Kakura. This is the frustrating part. This is the frustrating part when you're dealing with One Piece, because you're like, I'm excited, and like I said, this chapter overall, I like the pace of it. It kind of got us away from the Emu goofy demon action, which I wasn't feeling. Like, overall, Elbeth is, for me, is down on the list of arcs by Oda. But when you read, like I said, this panel here, so many questions. Like, Loki busts in and sees this, and there's no follow-up. And here's the other thing, he's not alone when he barges in. He's not alone when he barges in. Like, Loki is, we find out, we get to Elbeth, we find out who Loki is, son of King Harold. He's chained up for killing, allegedly killing King Harold. We have a witness who was on the scene with him. Like, what is really going on here, Oda? I mean, I get it's a manga, man, but we're defying logic here. We are defying logic on a serious level. But overall, like I said, I enjoyed the flow of it. I just, and of course, when Oda puts things in bold print, when people are talking, it kind of alludes to other stuff. When Scopper calls him a child of fate, is that going to be something else? Another plot thread that the Oda leads us down, and with the letter D, it's going to be one of those things, one of those plot devices that we'll find out, sometime in the future in another flashback. Is that where we're going with this? I don't know. I don't, like I said, overall cool chapter, but I was expecting a little bit more, but it's kind of like where we're at with it now, with how the chapter kind of closes. What page is that? Okay. we close out with the which it kind of looks like Loki, but it's not. It's King Harold from 100 plus years ago. Matter of fact, 109 years ago to be exact. Where are we going with this? Where are we going with this? And then another thing that Oda kind of leads us with a plot thread. What page is that? Let me go back. I want to say it's 14. Yeah, 14. You know, where are we going? What's who took the forbidden devil fruit? What devil fruit is it? What is the treasure of Elbath? Maybe I'm lost. Maybe I missed that in a past chapter of long time. You wonder why he was in the Holy Land to begin with? Well, I mean, his family is, as we have found out, over the past, I want to say 2 years. Father was head of the Holy Knights. Brother is the Holy Knight. I'm curious, are we ever going to find out who the mother was? Maybe that's another big reveal. The Oda's kind of leaving out there. I mean, Shanks just has such a very peculiar background. Did he go hunting with the pirates and with Roger? And then I became a Holy Knight, then kind of switched up, but it also could explain his sword skills being a Holy Knight. I mean, but this right here, this particular panel right here, like, maybe you guys can explain it to me. Maybe I missed it. Like, what is the treasure of Elbath, the forbidden devil fruit? Are we talking about the sun god Nika fruit? Was it that's where it was originally held 109 years ago? That the Gora say, that could be a way to kind of explain Emu being on the island trying to get to the forbidden fruit. But as we saw in chapters long ago when the Gora say we're talking about the Nika fruit, how it kind of like had a mind of its own. It's been avoiding them for so long. I don't know. I mean, it's part of the beauty of One Piece, but it's also the frustrating part of it. You have a theory that originally the treasure devil fruit was Luffy's Goma Goma fruit, and whoever stole it at the time was the reason it got out into the world. How you doing, Miss Murphy? I think that's what we're alluding to here, Germ. But of course, when it comes to manga, you can't really leave it up to interpretation like that. I would assume that's the devil fruit that Luffy got, but we don't know. We don't know. We can just assume, and that is a very plausible. It's a very plausible theory, and if that turn, for this the shadowy figure, who's the shadowy figure? I mean, what is going on here? They did all of this, killed the king, did all of that to get to the fruit. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And it's. I mean, like this panel. I mean, there's so many panels like this. So many. It's frustrating with older man. It's like so many plot threads. Like, okay, I met him in Marriage a while. We got along all right. Okay. Is this your time as a Holy Knight when y'all were openly recruiting the Giants? Who knows? Well, here's the thing. Germ, like when you go to the this is probably what page was it? This is probably the best image I've seen of King Harold. Do you really think it's a devil fruit for explains his appearance? I mean, because he very much looks like Loki if Loki was free and in battle form. Obviously a lot bigger than other giants, but who knows? Who knows? I mean, you're obviously kicking in other giants here who you obviously are bigger than. Is it a devil fruit? Is that what? I mean, but if they stole it, then Loki was already that. I mean, that size. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, I'm thinking more or less it's got to be the Goma Goma fruit, but who knows? Thank you, Oda, for kind of leaving those plot threads coming to play as Harold descended from Ors. Germ, this is when once you go down the rabbit hole, you're kind of stuck. You're kind of stuck. You're kind of stuck with it. I mean, it's like, why would you? We find out about King Harold's death and the devil fruit being stolen. Let's continue down that flashback. How does it? How does Loki get blamed? As we know, how does that work? What ends up him being put in the chains? Like, I need more clarity on that, man. I need more clarity, like this, to end the chapter with yet another flashback. And I think Oda is going to head down this road for the next chapter. Listen, I ain't feeling it, man. I'm like, Elbaf has been a jumbled mess, man, from the word go. Slander Son. What's up, man?
What up? What up? What up? I'm new around here. I don't know if y'all been formally introduced. How y'all doing?
Oh, man, it's the usual suspects over here. What's going on, man?
Not a damn thing. I am up here to defend Oda, hold down the Straw Hats, and defend the One Piece.
Are you serious? You cannot be satisfied with this arc. I know that's just you trolling. No, that's just the
Yes and
trolling.
no. Yes and no. Because we did get a lot of information. We did get some, like the Void Century. You don't feel like the little poneglyph we saw gave us a lot of information? Granted, it's whatever you interpret it to be, but it did give us a lot of stuff.
I mean, but see, that's the problem. Like, it's just, and this has been the problem pretty much since Egghead. Like, it's so many loose threads out there, and then Oda just like, listen, you just dropped like 3 or 4 of them in just this chapter alone.
That's real shit.
So I mean, like, it's like, oh, okay, let's dive. I want, as a reader, I'm like, okay, let's dive, dude. We're like 20 years in, like, god damn. And like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna surprise you with this in the next chapter, or and with these flashbacks, the last one he did, you kind of rushed through it. I mean, God Valley.
I feel like we're getting a God Valley movie or something because that's one of those you cannot just rush through it, so to say.
I mean, but
You know what I mean?
it was like what, half a chapter?
It was about 3. Yeah, it was 3 episodes in a month. Yeah, it was about 3.
Listen, God Valley, it could be a movie. Maybe that's what's Oda is saving that for. I mean, because we talking about so many key players being in one place at one time. It would just the action alone would be worth the price of admission. But
Oh, easy.
I'm Oda is I'm like, he's kind of losing me at times with this, because it's like, okay, the story is kind of moving. We're kind of picking it up in Elbaf, and here we go down memory lane. It's like, oh yeah, I just threw that Holy Knight tattoo in there for no particular reason, like just to let you know if you wasn't sure. Yeah, he was one. How
But
he
no, they talked about that in the past because they said he remember they said he left he left the magic cards to go be his family and shit.
okay, your
And they
audio,
like, that's why he got the devil fruit. Oh shit! Hold on. Ah shit.
okay, while the good brother Slander Son gets his audio together. Go back to Jeremy. If Gerald was there to see the whole thing go down, why did he run with the narrative to blame Loki for everything? Maybe that has something to do with the sword in the head. I don't know, Germ. Okay, hold on.
We back. Good
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Okay, let me kick off the other one. All right. All right. Kick from the studio.
But no, like I was saying, they told us in the past that like he left them and went to go be with them and all that. I think if I remember right, that's when they said that's when everything went down with the gum fruit.
Yeah, I mean, it's they handed. I mean, but come on, man. It's
No, I mean this is One Piece is
all over the place.
oh yeah.
He walks away from the Holy Knights, and
Who?
and I mean Shanks, like he walks away from the Holy Knights. Like, are we just gonna let him go free? Was that maybe was he undercover before because he had before he got his arm taken, he had the tattoo.
Maybe it's a situation like with Doflamingo. He knows too much. You feel me? And I mean, he's strong. You feel me? He's got a strong crew, so it's not like they can just go in and just
Well,
CP0 the crew and wipe them out.
but if dad is head of the Holy Knights and your brother, who look like they on par, if not stronger, lately they presenting them to be as strong as Shanks. Like I just can't see Emu saying like he put Don Flamingo in jail.
It's true.
Had him buried in the depths of hell. And I'm just gonna let Shanks just run freely, knowing what he knows. No, I'm not buying this. It's more to it. If that's the case, we just let him roam free because he knew too much. I say Oda dropped the ball with that because I just can't see, Figureland not going to handle business on behalf of the Gorosei. I just don't see that.
Do you think that adds like to Shanks's lore though? How like they didn't go try him and didn't. He's the only person we've seen in this, in the anime that his hockey was able to reach a whole fucking island miles away and get a Green Bull.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I think him, being there with Scopper, are we saying that he has that level of hockey control? You would think so. Consider no one's really tried him like that. Over the you would think that, but I don't know. And this is part of Oda's goddamn problem. Like sometimes we want to keep it simple, stupid.
That's real shit.
Like it's already so much stuff that he's glossed over, kind of like brushed to the side. And we're just like whatever. Like we haven't really got into, we find out, the world government killed Rocks, but was that on God Valley? Who like is that, is Loki referring to that being, him being killed on? Because I don't think they ever said he was killed. I know he was defeated, but I don't know if they ever said he was killed during the God Valley incident, but who knows? I mean, Oda's all over the place with this stuff, man. It's so much.
Now, do you think it could be possibly it's winding down at the end and I'm trying to cram everything in here at the last minute?
I hope. Listen, I hope not, because now you like I said with this chapter, you just added like 3 or 4 different plot threads and other theories and wild goose chases that people got to follow. Like, how much are you cramming? Like, how much did you really have? As far as game planning, like I'm gonna do all of this leading up into the final arc. Like, I'm gonna put this. Like, this is like it's overkill, man. And you still have plot threads you haven't wrapped up in over a decade. Are you serious? Like, at this point,
I mean, that's how
I
he
don't
is,
need no more
though.
lore. I don't need no more lore at this point.
Like, this is how I look at it. Remember in Water 7 when we heard about, like, what the fuck is his name? Iceberg was trying to build, like, an island on a ship that could float.
Uh-huh.
Then we find out in Egghead the whole fucking world's about to be completely flooded and submerged. He does stuff like that. It takes him about 4 or 5, 6 years to explain it, but eventually we get to it.
I mean, but it just leaves to it's too much lore. I mean, like sometimes you got to keep it simple, stupid. And as much as I love One Piece, this has like been a running theme, and I think it's been exaggerated the last two arcs for me. Like, dude, like, what are we doing? Like, oh yeah, by the way, the world's gonna flood. Like, what happened the last time? Is this referring to the Void Century? Like, what is going? Like, what is really going on? Like, is the world government going to get all three legendary treasures? Who knows? Like, sometimes you got to keep it simple, stupid. Give us enough background. I mean, let's take like Dragon Ball. Like, you want to know how Planet Vegeta was done, or we give you a flashback. Wrap that up, and by the time we get to the end of the arc of the story, you're not wondering about what happened with this or what happened with that. Oda just leaves so much out there. Like, where's Green Bull? Is he still hunting them? Is he still on? I mean, is he still on Wano? Like, what are we doing?
Nah, remember we saw Green Bull. He was at the Reverie, not the Reverie. Remember when they were breaking out Kuma?
Hold on. Are we sure that was accurate as far as time is concerned?
Timing is a little off. I don't know when that happened, but he was Mary Joie.
I mean that. Like I said, this is too much, man. Too much. And Oda, I'm tired of trying to follow along at times, man. It's hard. Like, what's the next chapter going to be? A flashback of King Harold? How does that move the current story to the final arc? I'm trying to anticipate where we're going with it, and it's frustrating with Oda because you don't know where the hell he's going from chapter to chapter.
That's real. I think he's just trying to give us all of Loki's back. So kind of like how they did with fucking what was Shorty's name in Wano that was supposed to join the crew but didn't at the last minute?
Yamato.
I think he's kind of doing something like that, where how we all thought Yamato was going to join the crew, but she didn't at the last minute. It's kind of like the same with this whole Loki situation. So he's trying to give us his backstory and everything.
I mean, but you could have gave me his backstory without giving me, the King Harold killing scene. But you know what I'm saying. No, I get you got to explain how he ended up in chains. I get that. But you can't give me that and give me it in the way that you did it, where King Harold looked like he's possessed by Emu. Like, that's a hell of a mic drop. It'd be one thing like he walked in and he saw he was by himself and he saw King Harold is that his father all stabbed up, and then somebody walked in and saw him holding the blade. Like, make sometimes you got to keep it simple, stupid. You can't show me the image of it looks like either Harold is possessed by Emu or the Giants killing him or possessed by Emu. You can't give me that mic drop and like, yeah, this is going to help flesh out Loki's story. Like, no, at this point, fuck Loki. What happened here? Like, Loki goes on the back burner. I mean, if you really think about it, he this chapter he's pushing Harold, King Harold to the front of the line. Like, he goes on the back burner with that mic drop. You see what I'm saying? He goes on like, okay, well, you saw, this is the scene that Loki walked in on. We'll pick it back up another time. Now King Harold is the focus because, like, okay, what's going on? Who's got the devil fruit? What is the devil fruit? I don't care about Loki at this point.
Now, do you think possibly the whole King Harold situation might have with him, like his, because you said it's his past, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think that might tie in with Emu and shit, just because giants do have a longer lifespan?
I would assume you gotta. I mean, you have to kind of. I think that's where Oda's going with the King Harold flashback from 100 years ago. But like, why do that? And you know, you mean to tell me Emu showed up? Whose body did he possess? Are you going to explain to me that he made a deal with Harold 100 years ago and came to collect? And they get like, what are we doing? Because they're showing Harold as a young man, but you mean to tell me he waited that long, over about 100 years before I cash in? Like, yeah, you owe me.
I mean, I agree with you. There do be a lot of plot holes. A lot of shit does not make sense. I am with you on that.
Like, keep it simple. This, like I said, One Piece. I can see, if anybody wants to know how they could drag it out for 20 years, it's shit like this. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, you talking about a 20-year story, and it has been a hell of a ride. But shit like this chapter here is a reason why Oda can drag this shit out for. He can drag this out for another 3-4 years.
So how long do you think how long do you think's left?
I don't know. You would think 2026. We're I mean, we're going into 20 plus now. Like how now? Listen, we're not even talking about the training arc between for Zoro and Luffy to learn advanced Kakarot Arc, because they're going to have to learn it. Another training arc, like.
You think we're gonna get a whole training arc, or it
Yeah.
might be? I'm thinking it's gonna be some shit like when they was in Udon prison, and he just trained for like, what was it, 3-4 episodes, then he mastered it. Because he already knows how to control it, how to use it, and whatnot.
I mean, but you got Zoro also, and
So can't believe he didn't even know he had it.
Yeah, and Luffy's like, you can't tell, like it's oozing out of you, like that's a whole training arc. That's gonna be a whole training arc to refine it in that fashion, to be able to be used against the Holy Knights and the Gorosei. This is older, man. Just keep it simple. Sometimes you just gotta keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, it's cool to be like, yeah, I'm gonna leave them with a cliffhanger, but goddamn, how many cliffs left us with, man? And we're like, where's this going? Oda will walk us to the cliff and pivot and go another way. Like, where are we going with this Harold stuff? I don't know. I'm just not. I'm not feeling it. No, I'm not feeling. I like the pace of this particular chapter, but you can't give me those kind of mic drops, those kind of hints, and like, yeah, we're just gonna move on. But anyway, moving on. Have you heard the Clip's latest work? Hey, are you ready for the new album?
Oh yeah. They got Travis Scott the fuck up out here.
Or Travis. I'm surprised I haven't heard a response from Travis.
Stop it. Travis Scott responding to the clips. Are you serious?
I didn't say it was the smart move. I mean, but in the hip hop culture, the battle culture, you can't let him get off a shot like that and not have something to Instagram post, something.
See, I wouldn't consider Travis like hip hop. I feel like he didn't grew past that, too big from that. Like,
he's not bigger than the culture.
No, not that. But I mean, he ain't. Has he ever responded to somebody? Motherfuckers been sending shots at his BM, him. Like, he ain't gonna respond to that shit.
Oh, I mean, listen, I wasn't waiting for a response. Yes, Ms. Murph, I'm dopely excited, super duper excited for the new Clips album on July 11th. Let God sort them out. I like you heard Kung Fu Kenny's verse.
Nah, Seven played it last night on her shit, but it got taken down for that. So I'm gonna go
Yeah,
listen to it. That's okay, because that's why he left his record label, right?
yeah. He
Okay,
ended up
yeah,
because they told him to take it off. Take it off the album. Um, and it's like we're not taking it off, and he had to pay $1 million to get out of that Def Jam deal.
yeah.
But he's gonna recoup all of that back with this. I'm like, I think for old school fans like myself who grew up with the Clips during that era,
Grinding. Yeah.
I'm just like this is it's that slick talk, and I think it's sorely needed. I mean, but like Kendrick kind of set the tone last year. Bars are back. Like you gotta rap now.
Are you surprised his brother still had it after the hiatus though?
No, I mean, because he's been on a couple of joints. He's been on a couple of joints on Push's like last couple of projects. Like Malice is back in the day it used to be said Malice was the better rapper, and that's saying something. It's like Malice has always been nice, and he's just not cussing anymore, but the slick talk is still there. The slick like Malice is. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like some people have a talent and a gift, man. Like when they decided I'm gonna jump out, like it reminds me of Andre 3000 on Killer Mike's last album. Like I wasn't surprised. Like that is when you are able to rap on that level, you don't lose that. But I'm listening. I think if it's these first 3 songs that have kind of been put out, and of course with the leak, we finally got the Kung Fu Kenny verse. Could be album of the year, and I'm just saying, could we could already be looking at album of the year? I mean, like think about the first 2 singles are hitting like that, and and like Pharrell is back in his bag.
I was gonna ask you about that. Nick. What's your thoughts on Pharrell? They said Pharrell, he back.
Pharrell is like, I mean, but it's Pharrell is hitting us with like, yo, don't get it. I was one of them ones. I did the pop stuff and did all of that artsy stuff, but like, I made my money doing this with these brothers. Like Pharrell, I mean that's so big. Come on, man, that's filthy.
Oh no, those beats though, like I'm not gonna lie, those instrumentals are A1. Those are really good.
I mean, even the whips and chains, like Pharrell is like it feels like when I mean, it's like the totality of this album. It's like we're here to remind you, and not just the clips. Like we're here to remind you, Pharrell, like where we really stand. When we talk about like some of the greats, of this music thing of the culture, like Pharrell was at one point was in conversation for best producer in the culture, with like Dre and Timbaland and that ilk. Like Pharrell was one of them ones.
You could still be. Yeah, he still is. No, I mean, just
No,
because he took a little break.
I mean, he took a break, but it's like y'all forgot. Like, it was I was part of a whole wave of sound coming out of the East Coast. That DMV area, along with like Timbaland. Like don't get it fucked up. I mean, but it's like it's Clips and Pharrell has always been a perfect marriage. With the beats, and it's like it is builds itself to that slick talk. They're like you can't. I mean, this the way he's talking. Cass, what Cass know about Pirellis? You know what I'm saying? Like, like he pushes it's that slick. I mean, then you got Malice, like he's talking that slick talking, but I'm a little bit cleaned up. Like, yo, I'm a reformed dope boy, but don't get it messed up. I still got that in me.
And I see that's what I think really shocked people because I was sitting there like when I first heard it, I was like, well, for one, let's be real, you can't tell them two apart when they rapping.
Yeah, you can. I mean, if
You
you
think you
listen,
can?
yeah, I
Niggas
can
sound
tell.
just alike.
No, you may be talking about like the tone of the voice or something, but like you can. Let me
Oh
see,
yeah, yeah, that's what I mean.
Malice,
Yeah, yeah. Not
Malice
the bars
is.
and shit.
I mean, but that's always been like the kind of separate because like vocally they kind of sound alike, but you know the way that they put that slick talk together, you know, Malice is. I wouldn't say a little. It's just a different kind of oil. They both talking slick, but it's Malice has always been a little bit different. Where it's like, wow, you know, ain't no more Neptune's P Saturn. Like, well, some people didn't even know, the Neptunes broke up. They're going through like, some legal dispute right now. I'm saying, but
So you already stamping the album of the year.
when I look at the landscape, like who else has an album they're working on that I mean, for me, that like on the horizon, are we talking Drake dropping another album? Like, and let's keep it a buck. His last, I guess you can call it an album, EP. It all depends on who the Drake stand, what they want to call it. It was it worth the wait?
They say the Boogeyman coming. I don't know. I mean, the Iceman's coming, so I don't know.
No.
Because I thought you would have said Kendrick album was album of the year. Because I know that's still in rotation heavy.
Well, I mean, I look at GN6, like I know it came out technically at the beginning of the year, but I look at more like the GNX album as capping off his 2024. Like he just dropped it right after, right in January. But I look at it as that, like that's my cat. It was like a cap to the end of his run from 2024. I look at what the Clips is doing, like with just these, the releases they put out so far, like. Then you got Kung Fu Kenny on the album, and he's talking that's that slick talk, that spicy talk. It sets up to be when you got all of that mixed in, like you know what? It may not even sell like that, but like for fans of the culture, like it's the album I'm looking for. I'm listening. Your man Drake is in a tough spot.
What you mean? What you mean?
You know what I mean? Listen, his 2024 and 2025, it's been rough. It's been rough because like you thought you was going to Meek Mill Kendrick. You thought, I do my thing and the stardom was just going to overwhelm him. He was going to put out some subpar stuff. Kendrick, like, okay, we'll take it there. We'll take it to the next level. I mean, think about it. I had a diss song played for the Super Bowl halftime show that everybody was anticipating. A diss song. You know what I'm saying? And then I drop an album and my album is doing crazy numbers. Then I go on tour and I set up not one show but two shows in your city. Sold out shows. And I'm not, and I'm not performing, at the bingo hall. I mean, I'm at the largest place you got available. And then reports are coming out that you sent your people over there to my if y'all cancel the show, we'll give you another spot for the OVO Fest. Like, nah, they're like, we want some of that Kung Fu Kenny. And then we're not even gonna get into the whole UMG lawsuit. Right? It's a rough time. And I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he acts tough. I'm just saying.
Well, speaking of him, do you think Pusha sent shots at him on the album? Who else Pusha sending shots at?
I know Travis Scott's got a shot. I wouldn't be surprised if Kanye gets a shot.
I was gonna ask that next.
And knowing Push like I know him, I don't. this Kanye. I think Kanye, he jumps out of body and
Does
gets
Kanye respond?
yeah. Kanye responds. Now in the fashion that Kanye responds, I don't know, because Ye might just go on a damn rant wearing a goddamn Ku Klux Klan outfit, and he's saying that's my response to Pusha T. Like, you never know with Ye. I mean, but Ye can definitely get in the booth if he's focused and put together something. But you kind of looked at as the weirdo in the classroom. Like, how serious are you? Are we going to take a Kanye diss towards Pusha? I mean, but Pusha's been talking spicy in interviews about why you don't fuck with Ye. And pretty much it's a logical reason why man, you on some weirdo shit. You know some fuck boy. I can't get down like that. But I look at, like I said, Clips album of the year. I'm pretty sure somebody else will get a subtle shot. That's this. We don't know who, because I don't think anybody saw the Travis Scott one coming.
Hell no.
I mean, I look at the clips like, yo, this may be the last time we do an album. Like, let God sort them out. Like, we getting at everybody that we think is on some fuckboy shit. Let's get it.
Really, you think they one and done?
I mean, it's it's just it's rap. I mean, you can always come back a year, but I don't look at this like, yo, we finna go on an extended run. Like, I just I live in the moment with stuff like this. Like when the Clips comes out, or Jay comes out, or Nas drops out, you just kind of like live in the moment, because you never know when you get another album.
Think they tour it?
I would definitely tour it. I mean, matter of fact, they already got a tour set up.
Oh, I ain't know that.
Yeah, they already got a tour set up. But your man Drake looking shaky out here, baby.
Nah. He'll be back. Give him a minute.
He's got to rehab his own image. I think he just need get back to what you do, dude. Which is the melodies. Get back to that. Quit trying to go bar for bar with cats that really do that. Like, let's just stick to the melody. Used to call me on my cell phone. Let's stick to that right there.
If Pusha drops the disc, does he respond?
No.
You think?
No.
No.
What happened last time?
Man,
we found out you had a whole baby last time you addressed that man.
Man, sick. You already know. Took something all week. Oh yeah.
I mean, like, the world found out you had a son last time you went at Push. Like, no, them dangerous waters, though. No. If Push sends a shot, it'll be kind of like Travis Scott. Like, you just have to know to know. But no, if Push sends a shot at Drake don't respond. Get back to the melodies. Maybe you can get back to get back to singing and dancing, dog. Dude, that's what you do. You used to call me on the cell phone. Like, get back to that. That's your lane. Like the battle rap type stuff, like, that ain't you. Everybody ain't Meek Mill. You had to that man forced you to reveal you had a son. You had to take him out on tour with you. Right now, you don't address if Push sends a shot. You just kind of like, yo, he didn't say my name, and I whatever, and I'm going back to making music. And speaking of music, your thoughts on the Carter 6?
Terrible. Fucking terrible. I didn't think it was that good. I talked to Propane and them about it, but to me, I just didn't think it was like that.
Hot garbage.
Thank you. Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone. Do you think Wayne is just living off his legacy, instead of like even trying.
No, it's not even like I'm gonna tell you my takeaways from the Carter Six. Whoever is in his camp, whoever your production team is, you need to get away from them. Because like if you listen just for the lyrics, Wayne is rapping, but it sounds so corny because like the cat doing his beats, I ain't gonna send no shots, but it's like on some TMK shit. Like,
Oh shit!
it ain't for real. Like, you mean to tell me Manny Fresh can produce this album?
Okay, so do you think that might? So that's part of the issue because remember he was going through it with his whole team and label, and he was firing everybody.
Yeah, like the team around you for this project, like if you take away the trash production, I mean it's a lot of trash production on this album and trash beats and TMK, man. I'm just using you as an example, brother. You're very talented, but it's like levels to it. Like here I am, the Carter Six, and you gotta, that's what I said. Party of the team, like your PR team. Listen, you're coming off quote unquote being snubbed for the Super Bowl in your hometown. Like, this has gotta be like, not only to let people know that I'm still him, but they made him like this should have been a redemption album. It should have been taken that serious for me. You understand? Like coming off of you getting passed up for the Super Bowl, like my next shit his shit should have been sounding like some Clips type shit. Like I'm with Manny Fresh and we putting out that classic shit. I'm putting out some of that Carter 2, that Carter 1 type stuff.
Okay. I'm glad you said that. Now, do you think that was probably part of the issue too? Is calling it a Carter?
Well, I thought he should have stopped at 3, but hey, I mean, like, I didn't say, don't do no more albums because Carter 4 was okay, but you got to learn when to, let a series go. Like, Jay had In My Lifetime, he got up to volume 3, like, okay, let's switch it up. Get to the Blueprint 3, okay, let's switch it up. Let's kind of, let's kind of get out of that mindset. But like I said, I think when you just listen to the lyrics, and it's hard to listen to the lyrics because it's the production is so bad on this album. Wayne can still rap. Like when you hear him on other people's stuff, Wayne can still rap. It's just it sounds like just like he should let his dreads go. I don't know what he got. He could have kept that out.
The nigga only got 3 left.
Miss listen. He could have kept. Listen, and my expectations were low, based off like the first couple songs that kind of leaked out. I was like, no, this can't be the Carter 6. When you talk about
trash too,
I mean, but Wayne has been I've seen Wayne live on the tour, in the past couple of years. I mean, it's a nostalgia factor to it. I mean, but he just I don't like the performance, value. I mean, this is talking about the live show. The performance values, it just ain't there. Like if you've seen Wayne perform in the last couple of years, you understand why the Super Bowl. You understand why the Super Bowl said like, nah, we good. We don't think you can. It's not like you don't have the catalog. Wayne definitely has the catalog, but we don't trust you to get out there and put together a coherent show. Like it ain't.
I agree. Like I didn't think it would be a good pick for the Super Bowl. Him alone, but like the whole Young Money, maybe, but not him alone.
Like no. And I'm like, when you got you finalize your track list, who did you, like I said, your team let you down with this one, because who on your team was like, yo man, oh that's fire, man, you got album of the year? No, like the first 7 songs, it was kind of a okay, the production is off, but it's still Wayne, and Wayne is still rapping. The last half of the album is like, fuck no. I mean, when
I
Peanuts to an
agree.
Elephant was for me, it was like, yo, I said, what is this? Who did this on a Casio? Like,
Ever since he got away from Mac Main, shit ain't been the same.
I'm sorely. I knew it was going to be a letdown because like I said, I heard the leaks and I was like, this can't be it. This can't. You can't roll like considering where you at with your career. Like this was like I said, you should have put the energy you put into the Carter 1 into the Carter 6. Meaning with the Carter 1 was like, yo, I'm about to show you, I'm about to start running the game. I'm one of them ones, I'm about to be a legend. And you should have had that same kind of mindset with Carter 6. Cause like, dude, I don't want to see no videos for this shit. I don't want to hear no remixes. Like, live in your legend status, do features, do mixtapes, don't do albums no more. We don't need we don't unless you change, like unless you get a whole new team around you production wise. I don't want to hear another Wayne album. And listen, I'll
I
listen to
agree with
Wayne
that. I
on
can agree with
features. I'll listen to Wayne on
that.
mixtapes
See,
where like
I'm glad you said that's what I didn't understand because he kills a feature. Like he still got it feature wise.
yeah. Right, Wayne, and that's like like he's if you listen to the album, he's rapping. Like it's not like he's saying goo goo gaga. Like he's really rapping, but like you can't, as a listener, you can't get past the trash production. Like, nah, this is straight weed trade material. Like, no, who put this together? He's got like, it was like propane level productions. Like, are you doing? What is this? And who from the label signed off on this? Like, yo, this is a hit. Like, no. But did you hear your man transition? Or did you hear your man Jim Jones talk about Nas?
No, I heard about it, but I didn't see the actual clip.
Okay, I got the clip.
Oh, shit, we back, y'all. Oh shit.
Hold on, I'll go back over here before I play that. Bruce versus LL put out an album earlier this year. LL's is kind of reached Miss Merv. I heard LL's album. It kind of reaches senior. He's kind of like, yo, he gets the senior level pass. He gets the, like if he goes to like Denny's or something, he gets the 55 and up menu. Like it's not, LO can still rap. But it was, it was I won't be bumping in my car. I'm just gonna say that. He's got some songs on there that he's rapping, he's doing his LL thing, but what about Will Smith album? Straight. That's it.
Not Will Smith. Did he put out an
I
album?
think she's
just heard
putting in
about
there
the
as a
song.
joke. He's I think working on. I think he might have put out an album.
Because I remember
let me
the song he put out, and they was like, "It'll do good overseas, and it ain't shit over here."
No, it's not even doing well overseas. It's like he did. I think he did a whole video for that new song he dropped. Like, dude, stick to movies. Your place in hip hop is solidified. Like, you don't tarnish your image. This, I'm Will Smith. I made, I'm making movies. I'm a big Hollywood star. Stick to that. Like your place in hip hop is solidified. Like he's good.
It ain't no get jiggy with it.
No, I mean, but even get jiggy with it. It was a hit for that time. Like, dude, stay where you at. Like don't. It's kind of like Wayne. Wayne didn't have to drop another album. Wayne could have just did mixtapes, did features. Like, don't call us this trash, the Carter 6, and then get mad at the fans because like we ain't feeling this. This is trash. Well, what you comparing it against? I mean, hell, the other big album of the year that came out at the beginning and what's coming up. I'm comparing you with Kung Fu Kenny and Clips because I look at you in that light, and you need to be judged on that level, and you just not meeting that. But here's Jim Jones talking about Nas, and I'm just gonna let it play, and we'll talk about it.
I recently saw a clip on Instagram where a young kid was comparing you to Nas and saying that you got
Yes, my young boy.
big hits. You look to you, he learned how to wear the. How crazy is that? Because in my era, you know what I'm saying? Nas is like a god.
In my era too. I mean,
So to be compared,
let me that young kid. Let me.
he was young and we loved that he loved Jim Jones. I want you to break it down.
Let's break this down. I admired Nas, but remember Nas' first record, The Barbecue, came out when I was in 11th grade.
Yes.
So Nas was my idol when I was young. Like you did, came to dressing, the wordplay, the music, everything. I was a superior Nas fan. Period. I'd never take that away from him. But then as I got in the game, you got to realize that your rivals would be idols, and not to take anything away from that. I developed my own style and my own lane that these kids start to gravitate towards the same way I gravitated towards Nas when I was younger and things like that. It's a whole different generation. We talking about 94, 93. I was in 11th grade. Nigga, it's 2025. There's a big gap there, you know what I mean? And I want people to understand that. So when Shorty's telling people that, yeah, he's 20-some years old, that goes to show the part of the era that he's in, that I came into light and started going crazy that these kids love me. They don't really know who Nas is. If he's 22, he's born in 03.
Not all of them, some of them though.
You know what I mean? Like,
Technical difficulties with the setup.
Not all of them, some of them though.
you know what I mean?
Not all of them though.
Yes.
But it's
Some music.
No,
There's some kids that.
no, I love that.
there's some kids that love hip hop.
20, so I mean,
Like he's your son.
He's your son.
He's your son.
No, but he knows.
My son, my sons can't tell you one Nas record. You heard? Like let's keep it a buck here.
Yeah, but
like,
let's
keep it a buck. You heard? Let's keep it a buck because they'll bring it up. There must be some type of misconception or what's that word when it comes to Jim Jones and what Jim Jones have done in this game. A lot of these rappers,
we made him take the darkies off.
a lot of these rappers have done a tremendous job, and I take nothing away from them. But they forget I got a hell of a catalog. Me, Jim Jones, myself, gold records, platinum records, gold albums, platinum albums. You know, me, Jim Jones. No Diplomats, no nobody else. Me, Jim Jones. Check my track record. Then check everybody else's track record. Then go to the billboards and check all my entries. Then check all them niggas' entries and shit like that. And I'm not taking nothing away from nobody. But I hear the comparisons and then niggas be trying to act funny when it comes. No, I've been spanking a lot of this shit. I'm talking about the industry. I've been putting on. So let's not get into that where we get into numbers and I got to show you the statistics of what I've done. You heard to what other people was done. You heard them. You want to go to the billboard entries, pull up Nas billboard entries and pull up my billboard entries.
Listen, we can't compare the two. What I'm trying to tell you is
I want to go there. I want to go down the line now because now we going down the line. He's a rapper and I'm a rapper.
Listen,
let's go statistically.
It feels great.
No, but I want to go statistically because
all right, can I say something?
Because when people be like,
I feel the same way. We all feel the same way.
Now, hold on, let me pause it here because it's about another minute. Listen, Jada and Fat Joe know they dead wrong. You should have ended the episode right there. Kick that young man off the show.
Nah, you gotta get that moment.
Miss Murph, instant L. Like no, that's not. Listen, that's that is not a moment. Let me stop, homie. Let me stop you before you embarrass yourself. Like, are we two? Jim Jones. We fly high, balling. Um,
I can only think of two Jim Jones songs: "Ballin'" and "Pop Champagne."
what was Pop Champagne?
And we ball,
Oh damn.
we pop champagne. You know what I'm saying? Oh, pop champagne. Oh, pop champagne.
Yeah, not
You know
that.
that. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah, I need a reminder. Like, dude, we put your name and Nas in the same breath. No, you're not even you weren't even the best rapper in your crew. Are you serious?
Damn. Fucking,
Are
let's
you
go there.
listen? And Hooks mate, listen, Miss Merv, come on. We from that era. Like, no. And then I'm looking at Jada and Joe sideways. Like, I know that's your homie and he's a guest on the show, but like, you gotta learn when to shut shit down. Like, no, we not doing that. Like, dude, we not finna you can't you in the same breath as Nas. Come on, Ether is better than anything you've ever put out. Are you serious? Like, no. Jim Jones is high on drug. And listen, I've never been a Jim Jones fan. I just his style of rap, it just wasn't my cup of tea. Because it sounded like hooked on phonics for kids. But as far as his rap style, Miss Murphy, listen, Jim Jones can't rap. You ain't the best rapper in your crew. I'd rather listen to Cam. I'd rather listen to the Jewels. I'd rather listen to Mace. Like, or I can't listen to Jim. Like, you had to remind me, Pop Champagne. Like, that's how forgettable that shit is. It's like Uchi Wally Wally. Like, that's how forgettable that shit is. Are you like, dude? And he's like, yo, check my bill. Like, Bill, and we know Billboard is pumped up by the look at UMG. Like, it's pumped up by the labels. To make, like, nobody has ever looked at Jim Jones like, yo, you one of the ones. Nobody's ever looked at Jim Jones like you one of the leaders of New York culture. Nobody. You was the hype man that got promoted. You was Spliff Star if he got a chance to rap. That was you. Stop. Let me come back on the screen. Let's put that to the background.
Did
Stop.
you see the internet went and did that though?
Stop.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
They
Like,
went and
dude,
they went and pulled the billboards and it wasn't even close.
listen, much success to you. You've been able to hang on, and let's keep it real. When I mean hang on, and I mean hang on. I mean, hell, the most notable thing you've done in the past decade, loving hip hop.
Damn.
I mean, it's and I'm like I said, I'm looking at Fat Joe and Jada like, yo, y'all really gonna seriously have a conversation with this nigga over like whose stuff is better, or who's got more accolades, him or Nas? Like, no. Like, yo, check the bill. Are you on dope?
You won't.
Nigga, you're not even, Jim Jones has never even been close to a BET award, let alone a Grammy. Like, are we serious? Oh, no. And then like his follow-up after the internet killed it was like, yo, y'all don't understand this, or that was all promotion, and see it got me in the algorithm. Like, yeah, niggas clowning you. Guess what? It ain't helping your record sales. I'm not waiting for the next Jim Jones album. Jim Jones mixtape. I mean, yeah, I look at you like a goofy. You look like a goofy.
I forget where I heard of that, but somebody said that's what Jim Jones does. Keep relevant.
But it's not. Listen,
Hang out
that's
with the
not the,
youngins and the up
that's
and
not the
comers.
kind of relevancy that you want, though. And you know, like you should be on some next level shit. Like you should, Jim Jones. Why you don't have your own podcast? That's what rappers from my era are doing. Like, yo, that's where I don't have to go do concerts no more. You know, I look at Cam and Mace, 7-figure deal. Gilly, 7-figure deal. Like these cats is making millions sitting on their couch talking. You Fat Joe and Jada finna sign a big money deal. Look at you, like, yo, you had your time. You know, you was never, let's keep it a buck. You was never one of them ones to begin with. You was never one of them ones to begin with. Ever. Nobody's ever say, yo, Jim Jones is nice. No one has ever said that.
I'm gonna
No.
assume you didn't hear his most recent album that came out this year.
He had an album.
Damn. It was some joints. I ain't even gonna hold you. He had a few joints.
This is you being contrary. You know it was bullshit.
I mean, I ain't, you feel me? I don't listen to it once. I ain't, you feel me? But no, I just say it was some joints. You
No,
feel me?
look,
You
no
gonna sit there and act
replay
like I'm
value.
a
No replay
vamp like
value.
Jim
Huh?
Jones fan. But no, he had a few joints.
Somebody slipped it into your playlist, huh?
Nah, they talked about it on the Joe Budden podcast. So I was like, I'm gonna give it a listen.
Nah, and Joe Budden was doing a favor. Like, no, Jim Jones has never he's never been one of them ones. It's never. Ever. Listen, yo.
So he was just a fly guy in the group.
That was you. Like, yo, you was the listen, you was Spliff Star if Spliff Star got a chance. Like, you was the hype man. You was a background nigga. You had to admit your stuff. It came out earlier this year, you know, that Cam and them had to teach you how to rap. You was never one of them ones.
They had a little beef going on a couple weeks ago.
You know, and Cam was like, yo, like, dude, I don't want to do this to you, but like, let's keep it about. I had to teach you how to rap. You was Jim Jones capo status. Like you was a background nigga. You was like Freaky Zeke. You was a background nigga. You was never the best. Listen, and I used to listen to old Diplomats stuff. You was never one of them ones in the group. You was not J.R. Ryder. You was none of them. You was not 40 Cal. You was none of them. You was a hype. Listen, you came up with on a hit, like, yo, you was the background. You listen, go back to Jewel's first video. You in the background dancing, holding champagne. Oh yeah, we know him. He's Jim Jones. That's Cam homeboy. No, that wasn't Jim Jones, the hit maker. Like, no. DMO, you came back in at the right time. That was it. We fly high. Like, balling is your peak, homie. You can't name another song or another hit bigger than that. Nothing. Listen, you can't go on stage and perform anywhere without having balling and as part of your set. Are we serious?
I saw the set one time. He performed that like 3 times.
I mean, like, come on, balling, then balling, like you're a goofy. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. You're an old goofy. There's nothing worse than being a goofy, but it's worse than being an old goofy. You're an old goofy. Like, last time you made the radar for me, like when you was out there in California, you was like, see, I can go outside and hang with the homies. Like, why wouldn't you? You look like OG. You gray hair everywhere. Like, stop. Like nigga, get a podcast. Like get to it. I'm pretty sure, Jim Jones podcast would do well. Talk fashion, talk music. Like, yo, it's a lane for you. I'm just saying. Old goofy. Yeah, DMO. It's nothing worse than old goofy. We know some. But it's nothing worse than an old goofy. Like you're delusional. Like, yo, look at my billboard. Stop. You're not one of them ones. You never was. No.
Fuck it, we smoking on a gym pack tonight.
I mean, you're not, Jim. And not, love you to death because you're part of the culture. But like I said about Will Smith, like I said about LL, like, yo, you had your time, soak in that moment, and don't tarnish your place in the game. Like this be cool where you at. Wayne, be cool with you should have left me with the Carter 3. And did your features. I'm not saying you still can't do it, man, but you got to stay current with the times. Like, who wants to listen? Who wants to listen to Jim Jones? Huh?
I don't. He might be that nigga in New York. I don't know.
Uh-oh. Good evening.
What? No, ain't no damn good evening. How come every time I come up here, you always gotta have something to say? Oh boy, here comes trouble.
But I'm the child that moved out the house now.
I know you stop.
Damn.
I'm the child that moved out the house.
Don't want to come see your family? No, nothing.
I visit on the weekends.
I'm telling you, don't tell nobody you're pulling up. Everybody just be looking at me like, oh, here he comes. We didn't even know you was coming.
Yeah, I visit on the weekends.
Barely every other weekend.
I drive by to make sure the light's still on.
His studies was too much. He couldn't come home this weekend. Hey, Slug, Dan, how you doing, darling?
What's good, Miss Lady?
You always, my love.
Thank you.
So, brother, it seems like you don't particularly care for Mr. Jones.
Huh? No, I listen.
Ooh, we got a Jim Jones fan in the building. Let's go.
Oh, hell no. You're too busy trying to get Chrissy back. Jim can't do nothing.
Listen. Love and Hip Hop didn't help his image either. Like,
nope.
You went from being, oh, okay, you the flashy dude, and like you the goofy with the goofy woman.
Yeah. He's mama's boy. Yeah,
Oh yeah, like that. Listen, that didn't help your image in the least bit.
Hey, I'm getting a phone call. Let me be.
Okay, sweetheart.
All right.
Hello, Miss Murph. How are you, darling?
Not at all.
I came up to show you some love. How you doing?
You know me. I'm doing well, blessed and highly favored as always.
Oh yes. That's rubbing off on me too, honey.
Yes. Listen. I peace. Be still.
It feels good, don't it? It feels good, even when you got a peekaboo motherfucker, but it feels good, don't it?
Listen, if you know what, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even going to go. Listen, I moved out the house,
and I left all the troubles behind. That's why I don't be coming home, because y'all still doing this shit.
I drive by to make sure the light's still on.
I have to drive by as a fan. I don't see nobody in the yard.
Yeah, this is the new bunker.
They done found out about the other shit. They got to hide out over here.
Listen, it's sorely. Oh, let me mute him. Right, he's getting it together over there. So they're sorely disappointed. It wasn't what you expected. So it is what it is. But hey, this is. You find something to use on the show from this, okay?
I'm glad.
My sound good?
Yeah, you better.
Hey, how do you guys feel like doing this Zoom meeting?
Huh?
How do you guys feel like doing this Zoom? It's gonna be me, Miss Murph, probably my sister, you, Slander, Ray.
You said who?
Miss Murph. This is a private thing, guys.
I mean, come on, hey. You know, we don't. This is like the commission. We don't talk about business over there.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody tell my ass maybe I can tell you then.
Yeah, this is the message.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to because I keep on getting to your ass to send me an email. And your ass say you got the hint, so I just figure.
No, listen, like when you no, 'cause I listen, I respond. I respond. Like, but you know, I gotta check on my sick and the shut in anyway. It's that time of the month. But
Oh my
yeah, I
God.
mean, you know, yeah, I'll send you an email and you know, just let me know what's what and you know.
All right, it'll be the folks on the email will be the folks that'll pay for it.
Yeah. We this commission, man. You know,
I know.
we,
Let
you
me
know,
get down. See, I told you, y'all be taking old man naps, honey. I took an old lady nap. I woke up like, is this in the
no, you
movie?
know, listen, I move. Listen, I move like the clips over here, man. It's all slick talk and like,
Oh shit! I got called ma'am. Let me shut the fuck up then. Damn.
Slant has feedback. Hold on. Let me mute him. Okay.
But I got you and I understand. I
Yeah. I
apologize.
mean, and just and you kind of. I mean, hell, you know, I mean, if they listening, they listening, and it is what it is. But you know, I've always done my best to, protect my circle.
Yeah,
So,
I got you. I got you. We'll talk about it. Just not
yeah.
here. This is the place. Let me get back in my child's
No,
place.
oh, well, okay. Well, you have any thoughts about Jim Jones saying he was,
Yes.
on a level with Nas before you go?
No. I
It's,
just
it's, it's,
answered it.
it's a flat
That
no
was
for
my
you.
answer. That's a no for me. Yeah, it's definitely a no. That's all he do is fly high. That's it. You say what's something else Jim Jones did, you lost me.
Yeah, like he kind of put himself in the same category as Nas, talking about, check my billboard. Like, dude, no, no,
No, I
no.
ain't
I
got
mean,
Jim.
but
Mm-mm.
he's an old goofy. And he kind of is. He's an old goofy, and I just can't believe you had two other artists from that era that just sat there and let him say that nonsense, and we're not even pushing back. We're not even G checking. Like, whoa, like, are you serious? Like,
Most think they bigger than what they are.
I could sit there if that was Nas saying, yo, I was bigger than Jay-Z, or check my track record. Like, yo, okay, your resume is comparable. Jim Jones, no.
Jim can't even compare himself to M.
we check from this person. We check Billboard and it's still a no. Like you not even up for beat. Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna go.
I'm
Dude, I
still
was
respectful.
thinking.
Man, I'm still respectful. You know that now.
Oh, absolutely, honey, and that's why. See, I was gonna say something almost made me slip up. See, when you said I'm respectful, man, the audacity of some folks. Okay,
Well,
let me get my ass
and
back on.
now, we've had that discussion on several occasions, and I try to
Mhm.
drop words of encouragement to you.
And you did. Speaking of that, my mind has changed on Tyler Perry. Actually, you
Really,
made me. Yes, honey, because when you said Straw did it for me. After what
Straw.
you said about yes,
You
after what
started
you
paying
said about
attention to it.
yes, yes. And then as I went back, I was like, he really does. I started thinking about all the other movies he's done. And so, yeah, you actually did change my mind on that. And I agree with you. So
Yeah, I
I
just
was
like,
already shaky on him, but that cemented it. Yeah, I'm good.
and I think a lot more people are waking up to, the Tyler Perry, game. Like, we know it's going to be some struggle. Um,
Hmm.
it's going to be, it's going to be some black woman, more than likely destitute.
Yes.
Um, and that's it's kind of how it is. And for, like I said, for me, I've never been a fan of that. Like, dude, like every black person don't wake up every morning and it's a struggle.
Yeah, I
Like,
think that's what it was because I didn't see myself in there. I see myself in some of his characters, the loudness and, the stereotypical shit. I understand that, you cater to who you cater to. But goddamn, nigga, you ain't got nothing else. You don't see us in any other light.
no, and see, here's the thing. Like, and I like how you brought that up. Like, a lot of black people see bits of themselves in different character, but I don't think a lot of black people, the ones that I know, I'm just gonna say this, the ones that I know, when they watch a Tyler Perry movie, they don't resonate with the main character. Like,
Mm-mm.
like
Yeah,
when
we
you
ain't all
say,
struggling.
like, when you talking about loud and boisterous, like Tasha from Why Did I Get Married?
Hmm.
Like, I know black folks, yeah, I'm loud like that, but just overall, like I just can't, I can't get down with Tyler Perry. Nothing he has, and I don't wish anything ill on the dude, but I
No,
just
just
can't,
not
I
like you
can't
said.
support it. You don't get a view from me. You don't get a movie ticket from me because I know what you finna give me. But think about it. Um, I look at Taraji and you know he was, a matter of fact, he was at the BET Awards. He was giving this speech, and it sounds nice and it sounds inspirational, and it had a very church like feel to it. But if you really take a real hard look, like who has he really kind of elevated?
None.
With his movies, like you look at Taraji. She's still doing,
Oh my God.
the down black woman or the mad black woman. But she may be getting better pay due to Tyler, but she's kind of tight. She's kind of typecast. Like Taraji is able to do a whole lot of things, but her last couple roles have been, you know, the Tyler Perry. He's directing. What else are you going to get? You're going to get some black trauma, black struggle, and that's it.
Look at the timing too, though. Look at the timing. They always put shit out when there's something heavy going on. We always got something heavy out, a heavy movie. They did The Color Purple, and then they redid The Color Purple, Four Color Girls. I mean, it's oh wow. Yes, so my mind
Well,
is
Miss
really
Murph,
blank right now.
I would say, to answer your question, I would say,
Okay, so
Daddy's Girl. No, Daddy's Girls had
I didn't see it.
Idris Elba, the woman Idris Elba, but even that had a framework of black struggle, like the single father, trying to take care of his daughters, and it's kind of like trying to get custody of his daughters from the baby mama who's dating the
Well,
drug dealer, like.
same thing.
I mean, like you just kind of changed it up. Like, yeah, that was a positive black man because he wasn't, beating on somebody or selling dope or nothing like that. Like, but that's not like the only one, or even the role of acrimony.
Same thing. She's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, she was kind of crazy, and here it is. She supported her husband. For those who remember the movie, she supported her husband, throughout all of that, you know, and because I got tricked into watching this shit. Hey, sometimes you got to bite the bullet, fellas. Um, it is what it
That
is.
date night shit.
Yeah,
I
it
done
is.
drug him a couple places. Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard
like
about
listen, it is what it is. Fellas, if you know, you know. But I was like, the last one, I got tricked into that one, you know. But even with that one, she was supporting her husband, trying to build. He was an inventor, trying to, work on his dream, and she was investing, and it just never came to fruition. And then, they end up getting divorced, and then he comes back, and tries to, pay her monetarily for, the all the effort and stuff that she put into for supporting him for that long, but instead of Tyler Perry, taking that as like, okay, let's take this moment right here, to build and have a truly happy ending with the movie, where what, despite all of that, he was true to his word, and he repaid her for her loyalty and
it.
dedication to him, and they went on to have a nice friendship, after the fact. Oh no, she got to kill this motherfucker on the boat. Like, come on, man.
And then the ending, like if you haven't seen the movie, then you're like, man, she gonna kill the motherfucker on the boat. Just
Listen,
throw it in there.
I would say I'm not necessarily a horror fan, Miss Murray. I'm more of a psycho. I guess like the movies that kind of make your mind like a Get
Mhm.
Out type thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need to be seeing blood and guts every goddamn where, make it a little, make my mind work a little
Shut-
bit. Um,
Shutter's Island is a good one for that, though.
Shutter Island is a wonderful movie.
Yeah, that movie I had to watch it twice because I was like, wait a minute.
Shutter Island was a wonderful movie.
Yeah, I like
You know what? It
that.
was another good, like, I like movies like that. Like Inception was a good movie.
Inception still kind of got me. Inception and the other one that begins with a G with Halle Berry. Man, you was
Um,
watching with Halle Berry, he still don't get it. It begins with a G, I think. Gothic Gamut, something. What was the name of that damn movie? It's an older movie, like early 90s.
okay, I have to look
Ethan
up.
Hawke was in it also, I think.
Who was in it?
Halle Berry, Ethan
Okay,
Hawke. And it was like a futuristic setting. I don't know. You
okay.
have to watch it.
I was okay. Let's see. No, it's not taken
Gothica.
live.
Gothica.
Okay, Gothica. Yeah, Gothica's
Yeah.
it's a little different. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
movie,
remember
I still ain't got it.
Gothica. I mean, I like psycho thrillers. I would say psycho thrillers. I don't necessarily need everybody getting stabbed up. Yeah, 28 years later it came out.
Oh, that was
DiCaprio movies are too long, but I get you, Miss Murray. DiCaprio movies do run a little long, but he does Wolf of Wall Street was a good movie. He's a good actor. But back to your man Tyler Perry, like I can't do it.
so thank you for opening my eyes a little bit wider.
I mean, I try to tell people, man, just pay attention to what like you want to support, and I get it, support black, rah fist in the air and all that good stuff. But yeah, I just can't do it because it's the same setup. Like even with the TV shows, it's kind of like a little bit of the same setup. Like why does everything, even like I would think with the TV shows you would move away from the trauma all the time. Why I can't get something like Martin where black people having a good time, living life, being successful, minor hiccups here and there, but living single. Like why we can't get something like that from Tyler? No, it's somebody's got to be a crackhead.
Oh my goodness. You must just see, nope, I'm getting off the panel. Get out of my head because I was just thinking of House of Pain. And I was like, well, that was kind of wholesome, but then there was the crackhead Janine.
Yeah, it was a crackhead.
I was like, okay, well, I got an example for you, but no, she was a crackhead.
Okay, hold on. Your other son, he's backstage. How's your sound?
Is it
Mic
good
check.
now? Testing 1 2.
Yeah, it's a lot
Testing
better.
1
Yeah,
2.
you're good.
Okay. I just came back up here just to tear down Tyler Perry. That's it.
Okay,
Yeah,
my love, let me get down. I'm my bed creaking and everything. I'm trying to move around and let me get back down. But thank you for another great conversation, my love.
Yeah, and I'll tap in because I got to check on my sick and the shut in too.
Thank you for referring us to that, though.
I got to check on the sick and the shut in. I know I'm gonna get fussed at. I'm like, we ain't heard from you.
Oh, you know that. You know that. If we don't see you, we're gonna be all out there showing you with all kinds. And then you got your friends watching you too, waiting for you to pop back out. So I'm gonna be in and out. I love you and I adore you. And I see you in the chat or I see you somewhere.
I'll be in the clouds.
Well, I ain't gonna never see your ass. So I don't even know what I'm talking to. Said that was talking to you, honey. I don't even know what you're doing with this damn ghost. I'm up here talking to myself and shit.
Oh yeah, I'm outside. I got you.
Okay, darling. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you later.
All right. Yeah, have a good night. Oh, 28 days later. Yeah, I think it is out, Miss Murph.
I want to say it came out last weekend.
Yeah, I think it came out last weekend. It's been I've seen positive reviews for it. I don't know if I want
I
to
haven't
see
seen
it.
anything because I didn't want to get spoiled.
No, I saw like IGN does good reviews where they don't really spoil anything. They just kind of like give like a general review, and they don't give away none of the plot. Yeah, I think IGN's got one up on 28 days, 28 years later, up there. I mean, some of the reviews I've been hearing have been, kind of positive. Kind of positive. I mean, but if you're not a fan of that genre, I was good after 28 days later. Okay, Solo. I hope it's worth the wait. Yeah, it's been a long time, Ms. Murph. I mean, has it really been 28 years? Jesus. Or is that just the title? Maybe I'm tripping.
20 years, nigga. That's
It's been a minute though. Let's see when 28 Weeks Later came out.
way better. Oh,
Yeah.
no. 28 Days Later came out in 02. 28 Weeks was 07.
Yeah. So I mean that's a long time between movies. Yeah.
You don't see. I don't know. Like you said, it's been, huh?
No, I was just looking at I'm like, damn, 2007. Man, that's a long time to keep fans waiting.
I mean, shit, you see, it did good this first week in the box office. So obviously, you know, had its little loyal fan base. Because I just watched like the first one and second one like last week. And, you know, it was all right. Let's see what all the hype is to this.
Now,
Because I remember.
yeah, it's doing well. It's doing well in the box office.
Oh, yeah. Because I remember like zombie movies had a fucking run back in the day.
I think the last zombie movie I kind of got into World War Z.
I think the
I would
last
say
one I saw was fucking Zombieland.
Zombieland was more like a comedy more than anything. To me,
I'm
it
just
felt
saying like
a
last
comedy.
zombie movie.
Oh yeah. Zombieland felt more like a comedy to me.
It was,
Miss Murphy
like I
said,
said, after 28 Days Later, it was zombie everything.
Miss Murphy, who are you giving the thumbs down to? I think what I said. World War Z. Listen, I like World War Z because it had elements of realism. You know, as much as you can have in a zombie movie. But I, you know, like think of it like COVID spreading. People just turn into zombies once they caught it. I mean, it had elements of
I
realism.
mean, shit, that's kind of like what 28 Days Later was like.
Yeah, 28
Because that was literally just a monkey attacked somebody and then it just spread like that.
Yeah. Oh, so she's saying thumbs down to my movie. Well, I can't say. Well, Contagion wasn't really a zombie movie. No, it wasn't a zombie movie. I don't know. I just kind of grew out of like hardcore horror. Like I know when they're about to have I Know What You Did Last Summer come out. Like, yeah, I'm good. I was good on the first two. I'm good on this one. I'm straight. I don't need it. You just rehashing, Killer Fisherman. Yeah, I'm good. What I got here
See,
now?
yes.
Oh, go ahead. Did you hear about B Simone being broke?
Oh man, we back. Let's motherfucking go, my nigga. Dog, that shit was so fucking funny just because the internet jumped on her immediately. Play all her old clips. I don't want no 9 to 5, nigga, this and that. That shit was hilarious.
Well, speaking of clips, 'cause I got one. I'm because somebody did a mashup of her on Twitter, and I found it to be quite hilarious. Hold on, cause see, hold on. I didn't hear. Let me get back over here. I didn't hear. I heard about the 9 to 5 comment that she made, but I never like listened to that actual clip. But yeah, Miss Murphy, listen, I had to put this in tonight's show. But here we go.
Finances, like the budgeting. You see how I am.
Have my dream career, I manifested it. I'm trying to manifest a husband. Ain't nothing wrong with a nigga with a 9 to 5. I get it. They work hard. I used to have a 9 to 5. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. You work hard, you have money. I get it. I need an entrepreneur. I need somebody that understands my mindset. Somebody that has the same lifestyle. It has nothing to do with money, everything to do with lifestyle. Okay? When I'm in the bed at 3 a.m. checking emails, what you doing, babe? Working? What you doing? Working? Okay, love you. You want to hop on a flight tomorrow? I have a meeting in out of town. You want to go? You got? Okay, let's go. Okay, you understand my life? You understand what I'm going through? I want to manifest that. What do you want in a man? What do you want? Let's start there. What do you want? Let's manifest it, baby. You can have it. Whatever you want, you can have it. Manifest that shit. Ain't nothing wrong with a nigga with a 9 to 5. Ain't nothing wrong with an entrepreneur ass nigga. Manifest whatever you want. I want to manifest an entrepreneur ass husband. I don't care what you do. Entrepreneur, graphic designer, sell t-shirts, sell drugs, rapper. You could be a rapper. A becoming rapper, D-list. I don't give a fuck. Entrepreneur, okay? At this point, I'm about to rebuy my book. I'm about to rebuy my book so I can manifest my husband. Whatever.
It's just my finances. Like the budgeting, you see how I am nitpicking every little thing.
Never
I've
like that.
never been like that. We were in Bloomingdale's yesterday. I'm like, we have to go to H&M.
Yeah. you do.
Like I notice it in me now, just nitpicking. And it's not even, I just don't have it like to spend the
Yeah.
liquid.
Yeah.
I'm used to having liquid. I'm used to seeing a certain amount in my account.
But you're
All right, and I'm back over here. Karma wins again, Miss Murph. Maybe she wouldn't be broke if she didn't make that list. Listen.
Now, do you feel like she's really broke?
Yeah. But broke is a mindset. Broke is a mindset because you listen,
Okay.
you know,
Okay. I see where you're going. Okay. Yeah.
you know, broke for her, she's broke. When she's talking about nitpicking, like, you know, I don't look at her in the terms of like everyday people. I mean, what damn beautiful you dropped out. How you doing? You found it. Good. I don't look at her in the terms of like average people. You know, for her, like,
Yeah, she's an influencer.
crime. Well, I mean, but not even that. Like, you crying because you went from Bloomingdale's to I got to go to H&M. Like, you know how many people don't even shop at H&M?
That's
Like,
wild.
it's not. It's
That
not.
was a wild statement.
I mean, but you saying
No.
that, and like in her mind, she's broke. Like, and I understand that. Had to drop down. I just, you know, her, you know, doing that list, and I want an entrepreneur. And here's the thing, and you know, I don't want to take shots at the ladies because some men do it too. But I find it, you know, when they give out women, I would say women do it a little bit more than men when they have like a particular list of things or prerequisites to even, you know, approach them or date them. And you know, when she's like, you know, one of the takeaways I got from her, and she's like, she was trying to be funny, but at the same time, like you being openly honest, like I want an entrepreneur, like the 9 to 5 ain't attractive to you. That 9 to 5 could have been 6 figures, 7 figures. Like, you know, everybody's not, you know, working odd hours and doing odd stuff to get paid. Like, to each his own. Your hustle is your hustle.
And something else, not every entrepreneur is fucking rich and loaded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like you could want that, but just because you want that, that doesn't mean he's gonna be to her standard or her level what she's looking for.
You know, and like she's saying this, and I'm like, I know, and I'm like, for what I know of B Simone, like if you can call her a social media influencer, like you're a comedian, and you know, I know you from Wildin' Out. That's it. Like, you haven't been.
She's on Wildin' Out.
I'm just saying, but like you haven't. You know, where's the entrepreneur that you're saying, like, where I'm checking emails and like I'm doing this, like this next level type shit, like. So what's really going on? Like, did your business fail?
Hold on.
I need.
You might have missed it. Remember, she put that book out, but then it came out that she copied everything.
Okay, well, see, you know, I
So she's
don't.
trying to be an entrepreneur, but it failed. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. You the old nigga, I'm the young nigga. We back. Y'all just listening to chat. We back. So I mean, she's
Um,
done stuff like that, but like, again, it got the day we copied and pasted from another book, so it didn't
well, I
do
mean,
well.
okay, well, I mean, but still, like, okay, well, so your book venture failed. Like, so you're talking like, I want an entrepreneur. I don't care what he does. He's got to be a hustler. And I think what women like her don't understand, like, baby, the 9 to 5 is a hustle.
Yeah.
It's a more constricted hustle, but baby, don't ever get it twisted. A 9 to 5 is a hustle. To get up every day that you're supposed to get up and go to work and make that money, like that is a hustle. And I think, I don't think the light bulb has went off for her. Like other, grown women know. Like, ain't nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. Like, are the bills paid? Am I able to still do some of the stuff I want to do based on that? Like, yeah, grown women get it. Like, but when you got that young girl mindset, I need a hustler for what? Like, baby, ain't no he could have been a drug dealer. Ain't no retirement plan from the streets. It's I just don't like. He could have been, that 9 to 5, or you was, could have been a guy that in his spare time developed, websites for fun, and could have helped your ass. I mean, I'm just saying.
One of those, she got viral from online. You know what I'm saying? I think in a couple of years, we'll see a lot of people from her group, like, you're just hilarious. Like, okay, she was able to, she pretty much the same thing as B. Simone, a comedian, both was on Wildin' Out, same kind of shit, IG comedy and shit, skits. Just was able to, do it and manage to get on the Breakfast Club. Or DC Fly, how, same thing, IG comedy and all that. He was able to get it. What is him and Carlos? The
85
red, not
South.
the Red Cup Boys. What is that called?
85 South.
That, you feel me? Like, you got to keep doing shit. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
But I think we'll see a lot more people like her from that who went viral, so to say, come out like her. I got to shop at H&M. I'm broke.
Like, and like and I get it. They're having in her mind. She's like, girl, you would understand. But like to the people that you're quote unquote, you got to remember what your audience is. You're the social influencer. Like, your audience, that don't translate. Like, some of these chicks that looking at you like they don't shop at Bloomingdale's. They don't even shop at H&M. They shop at they like to be bougie, but it's Target, but they like to call it Target. Like it's Target. Some of them shop there. Some of them don't even shop there. Some of them, are Walmart. I mean, listen, whatever you got to do to provide for yourself. I don't understand this whole looking down on it, but yeah, I don't feel sorry for her ass in the least bit. I don't. Neither of them. Miss Murphy, I like 80.
I see a lot of people say that. No, she's talking about B. Simone and Just Hilarious.
Yeah, Jess was like, look, I need a look, guess what? A 9 to 5.
Yeah,
I'm on a radio show. That is a 9 to 5. I got a segment to do. I got like, listen, even running a podcast is you can call it what you want to call it. That's a 9 to 5. Hey, we got to get the stories together. Presentations got to be this. It's a whole, like, you look at Cam and Mace, that is a whole production they got going on up there. Gilly and Wallow, that is a whole production they got going on up there. Yeah, it's built in the entrepreneur spirit, but that is a 9 to 5. That is a daily grind. It's not like I went out there and sold a couple bricks and I'm good for the week. Like, no. Shit, the TikTok shop be popping. F Target. Tell me how you feel this way. I mean, it's, I don't like I said, I don't feel sorry for the chick at all. Don't feel sorry. I don't wish you no ill will. I can't feel your pain. I can't feel your pain, and it don't translate. And then after listening to you talk about what I'm trying to manifest, You ain't manifested none of that. You haven't even manifested a stable lifestyle. I'm just saying. Y'all better stop. I tell young people, man, don't be following them social media influencers. Like, man, they got so many followers, and like, you be like, oh man, she must be popular, man, and she must be getting to the bread. She's an influencer. She's got 300 subs, and her ass working. You ever seen that? I saw it on Twitter. The chick that got all these followers and stuff, and her ass still working McDonald's. Audio getting slander. He'll get it together. Slander's at the trap right now. Beautiful. I never liked Taco. I thought they were overpriced. We called it a bougie Walmart. Not a bougie Walmart. That's a new one. That is a new one. While Slander kind of gets it, I do have one more. The trap. Okay, so if he'll come back, he'll come back. But I do have one more. Okay, is he back? All right.
Test. They gonna make me go sit at that fucking desk tonight, ain't they?
Yeah. You good.
Okay. But
All
no,
right.
I was saying the sad thing is that's what all these young kids want to do nowadays.
Nigga, you
They want to
bored.
be influenced. Oh, God.
You bored.
Damn, fuck.
All right, while he's doing that, I'm gonna prepare one more clip that we're gonna get up on out of here, man. Appreciate y'all coming through. Welcome my y'all welcome my newcomer. I don't know who in the clouds. Welcome my newcomer, beautiful. Welcome to the land of Oz, where we get together and talk nerd stuff and stuff like that. All right.
You clear now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. But I was saying that's the issue. Like all these young kids, that's what they want to do now. They want to be influencers. They want to do the online. You know how many times, like, okay, so like my friends, they know I have a YouTube channel. They'll tell their kids or their fucking siblings, like, oh, you got a YouTube? What do you do? Let me subscribe. How do y'all do it? It's like, I don't do it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm nowhere near a beast of mode, but like they hear that and they're like, that's what I want to do. How do I do it? Set me up. Put me on. Let me come on your channel. It's like, no.
Yeah, I don't. I get it. It's that that mentality of I need to get to it quick. And that's more. I don't know what you call them now. Millennials, Gen Zs. I need to go viral. Yeah, YNs. I need to go viral. I need to go
That
viral.
right there, the word viral.
Like that is heavily part of they vocabulary. Like whatever I got to do, whatever I got to walk up on. Oh, somebody getting shot. Let me record it. Like it don't matter. It's about going viral and having that moment. And and a lot of these young cats, they look at themselves as a Kai Cenat, and I can see why you would look at yourself like a Kai Cenat. Like, I don't think bro got any talent. I don't really think he's funny. You're a streamer. I don't find you particularly interesting, but maybe that's just me because I'm not sitting there watching you stream. What do you do?
No, I'm the same. I can't sit there and watch somebody play a game for hours. I don't. But the youngest, they do that. They love that shit. I don't know how it's entertaining, but that's their shit. Me personally, I don't see. I'm like you. I don't see the hype of it, but hey,
Yeah, but I guess it's like they see it and it's like what I got to do to get it, and like it's that quick. Like they don't they don't understand what it's really like to kind of like what a real social media influencer really does. Like the work that kind of goes into that. Like okay, mouth is shut. DMO, you let them know the rules of the house. No, we can say names, certain names over here, beautiful, but as I said the other day, we don't feed the hungry. This is not the soup kitchen. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up this one clip, then we're gonna get up on out of here. I was gonna do this clip Sunday. I may revisit it. And another clip I had, but I was gonna do this clip on Sunday. But it was good brother Stephen A. Smith. You know, I like I said, I got it. I was gonna do it Sunday, but hey, you know that show was different for another reason. And enjoyed that one very much. So yeah, we're gonna keep them hungry. Yeah, we don't feed the homeless up here. No, but check out this clip real quick. Let's check this out.
You don't get to ignore him, is my point. He has been the most powerful, the most influential member of the GOP since 2015. You refusing to invite him. I want to hear what you say. How does that help you? How? I'm not saying agree with him. I'm not saying side with him. I'm not saying befriend him. I'm not saying any of those things. But ignoring him ain't going to get it done. Not if you truly want to be about the business of helping folks, particularly the desolate and disenfranchised in our country, the urban communities throughout America. Not that that's all the NAACP does, because I'm certainly not implying that. All I'm saying is that clearly interested in helping. And not even at your convention, what's that going to accomplish? For the first time in a 116-year history, you're not inviting a president. Are you trying to tell me that there's no president that has been as offensive to the NAACP as Donald Trump in 116 years? Are you really making that argument? That no matter what you think about Donald Trump, that's the only person, that's the only president of the United States that you've been able to say that about in a 116-year history of the NAACP. 116 years. Doing the math, that goes back to 1909. Since 1909, there's no president that has ever been more offensive to the NAACP than Donald Trump. Is that your argument? The moment. Other than the who's going to agree with you? You might have folks out there that are right. They may not agree with Donald Trump either, but they recognize the importance of being able to work with the President of the United States. Just think about it. I don't think this is the right move. If all of us had to like the people we had to deal with and do business with, how would business ever get done in this country, if not this world? It's a rhetorical question, Mr. Derek Johnson. I know you know the answer.
All right, I am back. Who wants those back in chains? Can't be invited to anything. I'm having Miss Murph. I played this clip. Your background is crazy.
God damn it! I'm gonna go to chat.
All right. We have audio difficulties, but we're gonna rock out, man. Finish out the show strong. Appreciate it, y'all. Listen, Miss Murph and the rest of y'all. I had two problems. Like, yeah, I don't want to do the overlay. I want to do. Give me a second. I'm playing around with this profile. Still ain't where I want it to be. Yeah, there we go. Put that there. All right. I had two problems with this, and one of them, well, I had two problems with this clip. Like I said, I was going to play it, Sunday in the other space, but hey, I didn't get around to it. If you caught Sunday's show, man, you kind of know why I was just in a dope conversation. Didn't want to mess it up. But in regards to this, one problem I have is this belief. Maybe it's just me that the NAACP still holds weight like that, to where they can really, I don't want to say lead black folks, but have a certain level of influence to I would say more or less influence black folks to think along a certain way or go along a certain path, or as far as like politics are concerned. I just believe the NAACP is just what it is. It's an organization. It might as well be Red Cross for all I'm concerned. Not to say that it doesn't have an illustrious history, and that's what it is, but I don't look to the NAACP for guidance and direction as far as decisions with my life. I just don't see it. And the other problem to have with this clip, besides Stephen A, and that'll be a conversation I say for a whole nother show. The problem I have with Stephen A, and I don't think he realized how he was coming across. This need to have symbolism, like, does life for me change because he shows up at the convention? No. Does it get better or worse if he comes? Like, what do you expect? Like, he comes and does what? It's a photo op. It is a photo op, but this need to have not. I think most of my audience over here is black folks, but whether you is or not, I just hate that black folks love symbolism. Like, yeah, that makes that's going to get us somewhere with him, and that's going to get us some legislation done, or that's going to make life better because you showed up. Like what? Like I don't understand this need to have, and it's not just for, politics. This need for symbolism. This need to feel like I gotta represent a certain thing. If I don't have it, then I ain't made it. Like I don't want to get too I know Beautiful likes to call it the pulpit. I'm not trying to get into the pulpit on this show, but I just has had a problem with him using symbolism, like Trump showing up means something to anybody, like that changes life for them people. Like, he shows up to the NAACP convention, and what changes? Listen, dear, I'm trying to, me, it's a balancing act with me. And like I said, I had it up, and I was like, I got to get to it in some form or fashion. What it is, what it is. But we here with it now. But kind of like going back to the B. Simone thing. Get your house in order and get in reality. Welcome to the real world. Welcome to it doesn't go how you want it to go. Everything doesn't go as planned. That is why you need to have contingencies in order. You need to have, think about the possibility if something doesn't work, and sometimes it don't work, and sometimes it don't work because it's no fault of your own. It's like being in a relationship. Sometimes you just don't mesh together. You just don't work well together. It's not a you thing. It's not a me thing. It's a we thing. We just not compatible. You are not equally yoked. But yeah, that symbolism thing, and having to appear a certain listen. I don't give a shit about whether you shop at Bloomingdale's or H&M. Are you clean? Have you showered? Do you have a roof over your head? That's what really matters. That's the kind of symbolism I can respect and I can get behind. Like, are you doing well in life, or whatever that means for you? Are you doing well? No, and I'm not judging you, by what you drive or even where you really live at. You know, is that the best? You know, that's if that works for you, that works for you. This is your plan in action. I get behind it. I don't need a symbolism. I don't need to go, go into debt, getting the AMG for what? My cars are paid for. I don't have a note. But that's my plan. That's the symbolism I'm into. But anyway, I don't like beautiful. Yeah. Hey, listen, Miss Murphy, they gonna do nothing for D. It ain't gonna do nothing. I mean, but this the fact. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even know the NAACP was still doing national conventions. That's how out for me, out of the loop I am with what they got going on. That's how out of the loop. I didn't even know they were still doing that. Like where are they doing national convention? That I have not a clue. I mean, but would it have made a bit? It'd have been a nice publicity piece, just like he had those black pastors, and when it's time to say do something for the black folks to show you, I bring y'all to the White House and y'all stand over me and keep me in prayer. The whole photo op that was, but hey, pull out the pulpit, bro. Listen, okay, hold on. Beautiful. I tried. I don't know if it is in pulpit may just be like what I do for the Sunday show. I don't want to get too heavy with this because I like to keep it light over here because it's like nerd news. We just talk about nerd stuff. If you missed the first part of the show, we was talking about manga, like movies. Like this, I try to keep it a little light. But that B. Simone clip on top of the Stephen A. clip, like. But that's the kind of that's the kind of symbolism. Back to what I was saying. That's the kind of symbolism. Sometimes we need the pulpit. Sometimes. But that's the kind of symbolism. I can respect. Hold on. Let's see if you got the audio right. Hello. All right.
Oh, God damn, this is so different from the phone. Okay. All right, yeah. Woo. It's night and day.
Listen, the laptop is I when I started shows, it was always the laptop. I said I can't working in front, playing from the phone was enough. Like
Look, I didn't know until I did it. Then once I did it, like I told Propane, I'll never go back. I'll tap in from the phone, but as far as the show,
oh no,
hell no.
I'm not. I mean, because it's right there. And that you're not fumbling with stuff. Like tapping in from the phone, cool. Doing a show from I don't see how you cats did it. Like no.
Again, it's not as bad. Like I said, I like I said, I've had this motherfucker for a minute, so I was like, what, let's just try it. Let's see what could happen. And, oh man, no, we knocked that shit out the park last week.
I mean, you'll adjust to it. You'll adjust it. Listen,
I'm already used to it. I'm sorry, that's all right. Never go back.
Man, I haven't even played with it since they've upgraded the interface. Like I haven't like the scenes and all of that. Like I ain't really played with it like that. Like
I can share my screen. Oh no, yeah. It's about to be a very surgical summer and that little space to YouTube we're at. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. But yeah, and that's slander on the listen, Miss Murphy. A lot has changed, apparently.
Oh, Miss Murphy, Miss Murphy. Go watch next Friday's show. We ain't even we on a desktop. We ain't even on the motherfucking laptop, nigga. We on the desktop. I couldn't do the laptop because I would have tripped up and dropped that motherfucking cussing one of y'all out walking around the crib. So I just, what? Oh yeah, Miss Murphy. We finally on that fly jiggy shit.
Finally.
And somebody is very upset. Someone is very upset.
Well, yeah, that's your thing. Like
territory.
You more generous than I don't feed the hungry.
No.
I don't feed the hungry. And apparently some people are starving.
Word. You could sponsor some of them for $2 a day.
Apparently, when I do zoom down with the lens from the telescope deep on the satellite station, like shit, damn, is it that bad?
It's bad. It's real bad. It's bad, bad.
Starving ain't the word, beautiful. Oh, you know what? I'm
beautiful. Starving is not the word.
Hey, whoa, listen, Miss Murphy, hey, woo, you know, my sick of the shut in though. So I'm gonna check in on my my sick of the shut in because I ain't checked in and I know I'm gonna get fussed at. Like, god damn, you can't call nobody.
Oh, you already know.
See, I was leaving for real. Listen, Diabo, we'll see how long this space lasts. They're gonna be disappointed.
Now you might be safe over here.
Listen, it don't matter. Every time you say that, I'm safe everywhere I go. Oh, like there's some people missing in action. They're not in the chat. They must be somewhere. Oh, but anyway, yeah, we'll probably do another show. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with this channel. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. It will be anime, it will be manga, of course. We'll be doing some video game talk. And of course, I guess some hell, I don't know.
All over the place.
Oh, Lord, brother, please shut up.
The anime, the Tyler
Yeah,
Perry
I don't
reviews.
listen. I was playing around with it before I went live. I'm looking at the intro video. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I was like, I know I want to do a show. I know I want to do my One Piece and my manga, and any kind of news from anime. I know Marvel. If you're a Marvel fan, Ironheart, that series, that miniseries just started on Disney Plus.
Check that out.
I'm gonna check it out. It's because I want to see what they do with the Riri Williams character. And if you're in the comic books, you kind of know that. I'm curious to see how they kind of build up her character. Is it gonna be something they're gonna continue with? For those who don't know, it's been confirmed. It will be I want to say Ryan Gosling is going to be the new Black Panther. I bullshit you not. Ryan Gosling, hold on, let me make sure. Let me pull it back up. Ryan Gosling is going to be the new Black Panther. Yep, according to Ryan Coogler. Now, for those who don't read the comic book and trying to kind of confuse like how you gonna have a white boy playing the Black Panther, it has been a white character who has played the Black Panther in the comic book, so it is true to the comic books.
But I always thought that was his brother, the White Wolf.
Well, it's in like an alternate universe. T'Challa was white.
Okay, because I was in my head, I was thinking because in the like you said, the comics and the cartoons, what the fuck is his name? Dude with the robotic arm, the Winter Soldier. Because he was in the little extra clip. They even called him the White Wolf. You feel me? So I figured it was gonna be him, but it's had to go get America's favorite white.
But that's the rumor that allegedly Ryan Gosling is in line. They haven't really finalized it, but Ryan Gosling is in. Could be the next Black Panther, which is Gosling. Yeah, I heard that shit in alternate. Well, it fits Miss Murph.
Plus, they got the whitest
DMO,
blonde hair, blue eyes.
DMO, don't be like that. DMO, and I would say this, DMO. DMO, it fits because in like several like alternate versions of the Black Panther, like we're dealing with the multiverse, so it fits with the theme that the MCU is doing. But you know, it also fits because it's been like it's have had white characters, you know, be the Black Panther in alternate universes in the comic book. So it's not that big a surprise. I'm just a little bit surprised that they're actually going to, you know, thinking about it. It hasn't been finalized. They're actually thinking about going that direction, but it would fit in the concept that this is the multiverse. You know, I don't want to get, you know, spoil, you know, the actual comic book storyline that Marvel is trying to tell with the movies now, but it's like a whole bunch of universes get, you know, are starting to get erased, and then what Avengers Secret Wars is going to be is what in the comic books was Battle World, where all of these kind of like different pieces of other universes are melded together to create like one world, one universe. It's a very convoluted story. You can find you know, well, we got a Black Captain America, right? I mean, but Miss Murphy, that follows in line with the comic book, because Sam Wilson is you know, is the Captain America in the comic book. I ain't support, but don't be like that, DMO.
And we be real about Marvel real quick though.
Okay, let's
I am multiverse the fuck out. Everything is the multiverse. Really?
Well, I mean, but they had this when you think about and this is I've read I read comic books on top of the manga. So these storylines they're telling with the movies and stuff, I've seen them play out, and I already know where we're going to end up. But you think about the MCU, you know, the cinematic universe. Don't be like that, DMO. It's not that bad.
Teresa, if you can support this white man on that show that I do, then you can support Ryan Gosling being Black Panther, okay?
But no, I get why they're doing the multiverse saga, because when you think about the saga they just came off of, you're talking about Infinity Gauntlet saga. Like, where do you go from there? And the next plausible thing, and with the multiverse saga, it allows Marvel to you're about to get X-Men movies. Fantastic Four drops next month, which they didn't, you know, they just got, you know, they had to get the rights to from Sony. You know, but they're gonna come into the main MCU through that movie. Same thing with the X-Men and Future. It's all going to end up with one main universe. But even like the Miles Morales, the animated Spider-Man stuff, that's all, that's the alternate universe. That's not, that's not main universe. But I get it, multiverse, and there's a lot going on, like for like people who don't know the comics, like to kind of keep up with, like, what the hell is going on with this, and how can, Robert Downey Jr. be playing Doom? It kind of fits with the multiverse type stuff. If you're an avid comic book reader, it ain't confusing. But trust me, Marvel in the next year or two is going to really kind of tidy it up. I think it's going to start with Fantastic Four next month to kind of bring it into picture what's really going on. I think the post-credit scenes for that one's going to be crazy. And then we're getting Doom now. Once this saga wraps up in 2027, you might see a major X-Men storyline kind of be the main narrative for the next 10 years of Marvel. It's cool. It's cool. I know it's a lot to kind of take in for like casual fans. Like, what the hell? Who's Riri Williams? What's Ironheart? What's this? Like, it's she's not even the most important character in that series to me. Even though she's the main character, I'm more concerned with the character, the Hood.
Red Cape.
Yeah, for for cats who read the comic book, the Hood ends up at one point in time becoming, Sorcerer Supreme. Like Doctor Strange's role, but that's neither here nor there. I don't should have different that way you can get through all your topics. It's not that what you're doing. Beautiful. Listen, with this, and I know it's your first time over here. With this one, listen, it's kind of like I have no plan of action. It ain't like my other show where I'm like, okay, I have this set up. It's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. It's like whatever. We just gotta play it by ear. I had a couple clips I had saved for a rainy day, and I was like, let me pull these out and kind of go from there. But make Doctor Strange here, make them black first. Well, I mean, DMO, Sorcerer Supreme, in the comic book, it's actually the Hood is technically in the comic book black, and Dr. Voodoo, who they're thinking about introducing into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is black. Is black? I want to say Jamaican. So it's representation, DMO. I think don't trip over the white Black Panther. I get it. It sounds crazy to say, but it's actually they represent from a comic book. One or two. Like, yeah, but yeah, I'm excited for the multiverse. It's been rough. I think the movies have been more rough than the TV show. I think them keeping it to limited amount of episodes have helped. But yeah,
I don't know. My only issue with the show is you low key have to watch the shows to know what's going on in the movies.
well, I guess if you want to be like keep up like in full detail, because it's gonna be some people that are not gonna watch none of these TV shows.
Yeah.
And they just like, I just wait for the Marvel movie. I mean, because Marvel does a good job. I would say this: Marvel does a good job in case you missed the TV show. Like some people didn't watch
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So it was a surprise to them to say, "Oh shit, we got a black
Yeah,
man as Captain America."
No, they didn't even like people I went to see. They didn't even know who the old man was. And I was like, so I gotta watch that movie. So I gotta watch the show.
I mean, but like for the most part, they give you a good enough story to where a casual, and that's who your real target audience is. Not hardcore is gonna watch it anyway, but you want to pull in the casual fans, like, oh shit, the casual fan, like, oh shit, Sam Wilson's a black man, he's Captain America, what? Then he's got a Latino as Falcon, what? Like, it wasn't that big of a, like I say, beautiful say, I don't watch no TV show. Listen, but Marvel with the movies, they give you just enough to where you can just keep up with the movies and you'll be fine. Now, if you want to know in greater detail about who this person is and characters and stuff, you got to watch the TV shows. But they do a good enough job with the movies to kind of keep the casual fan in pocket, and they stay in their pocket, of course. But keep them in pocket to where they don't feel completely lost. Now they may be like kind of question some of the details, and that may lead people, if you're really curious enough, to go watch the TV show. WandaVision, I didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like WandaVision, but it's set up the Doctor Strange movie. As far as how it ended. And I mean, then you still have that Vision plot thread that's probably going to play out during this multiverse saga. Like, the TV shows, you got, if you're going to watch the TV shows, you got to watch them. You can't kind of like dibble and dabble them. You got to dive all the way in. Ms. Murphy said the last one I saw was Endgame. I've seen every Marvel movie. I've seen every, but I grew up with comic books, so like this storyline now, like I know where it ends. Now, how they present that on the screen is a completely different thing, but I know how the story ends. So I think the last Marvel. Yeah, but all right, man. Let me get my ass up out of here, man. Brother got gym in the morning.
Man, 35, it ain't bad.
Oh man, I'm getting my win back.
Keep that conditioning up. Be ready in no time. Fall be here before you know it.
I'm getting my wind up, and this is my off season. After for those in the other space, Sunday will probably be the last show for about a couple of weeks because that's it's my off season. Ain't no football, no basketball. What I'm gonna do? So next week probably be the last show for the season. We're kind of recapping the NBA draft and stuff. So y'all stay tuned for that. You never know who might show up. Listen, I thought for sure with my guest on Sunday, I was gonna so somebody gonna find out about this one. Woo! Someone would have had a meltdown if they just saw that Sunday show. Jesus. Shout out to the homie.
All right, let me get the hell up out of here.
Oh, did you catch the Sunday show?
No. I was busy as fuck this weekend.
Yeah, go. This skim through it, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Hold on, nigga. Hold on. We on that fly shit right now. I can do that right now.
This don't say the name. Just, you'll see. You'll see. Woo. I thought I was gonna get some requests. Like nah. Nah, we don't want them beautiful, but see, even if they come, they're not welcome. And I don't feed the hungry. I just don't. So even if it got out, like even that other space it got out, but I keep my spaces clean.
Oh shit. Oh wow, yeah. Especially after everything that happened last week. Yeah, I don't know how you did that one. You got lucky. You got lucky.
Nothing to see here, folks. But y'all know, Miss Mervin Beautiful. I don't want to bring y'all to bring y'all to places like that where y'all got to be worried about stuff like that. So I mean, even if they do find it, they pop up. Just like the motherfucker with the coloring book, you can get the fuck out of here and you stay out.
Still heard about that.
This my house. I'm the captain now. But yeah, they beautiful. They don't even if they found it, like, and do what? Bye.
Let's go subscribe and watch. They've been doing nothing new.
But that warmed my heart to show that person the exit twice.
I bet. I fucking bet.
And look, kept moving like nothing happened.
And shot, you didn't even know.
He was hurt. He was hurt, but anyway. But yeah, don't worry, no, beautiful. You good. If I invite you somewhere, you good money. You good money. Like everybody don't even know about this spot. Just the people that were invited. So it's pretty much invite only now. If it slip out, it slip out. But if it's invite only. But anyway, let me get my ass up out of here. Last words, good brother. It was a blast, man. It's been a minute.
Peace, far shot, man. Might dust them cleats off again.
Well,
I join my seat.
All right, now. Yeah, beautiful. Like I said, you good money over here. This is the invite only. I have no set schedule for what we do over here. Just we'll see. we'll see. We just come and have a good time, nerds talking about, I guess, nerd stuff and something to lead the stress of the day. But anyway, I don't even have no closing phrase for this. This is like show Miss Murphy, what is it, like show 4 for me? Like Divine had to show me I could actually share the manga. Like this is like show. I'm playing it by ear with this one. No fancy graphics, no nothing like that. But anyway, y'all have a good day. Y'all have a good evening. Hopefully we'll be able to get together, Lord willing, Monday or Tuesday next week and do another show. We'll see. Thank you everybody for taking the time. I think so. Yeah, I think it's like fourth show. Fourth, like I'm just kind of playing it by ear with this one. No real script. I kind of like it. But anyway, y'all have a good day. And y'all help me come up with. I just don't feel right closing out a show and I ain't got no phrase that pays. I just feel funny. Y'all help me come up with something. I might still DMO's thing. I adore you, honey. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.